Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about OnlyFans again because now we have an official reason on why they were banned. It was because of the banks.
It's the bank's fault.
The banks. Blame the banks. Blame the banks. But it is still very, very cruel. Indefensible, according to Slate and some other outlets. We're going to talk about the fallout of OnlyFans shutting down, getting rid of, well, it didn't shut down, but shutting down the porn. They might as well just shut down at this point.
Yeah.
It's
I thought
over.
banks like money.
They do?
I'm sure a lot of money has gone through banks that have either has drugs on it or been in someone's crack. So I don't, they didn't care then.
Or virtual crack.
No, it's a virtual crack. It's a problem.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because I've heard other things. I can't verify, but this is the official explanation is that the banks wouldn't have it. That's what Patreon did too. Patreon.
Yeah, they blamed the banks. Yeah.
Blame the banks. Yeah, it's like MasterCard is going to be the world's villain. Like, yeah, just blame us because, we don't care.
Well, this happened too for a couple places. People tried to get people banned from being allowed to come there or like be a guest. They went to the payment processors and told them they were supporting Yahtzees or whatever, they wouldn't let them use the payment processing. Yeah,
there was an entire convention. I think it was in Canada, an anime convention that the showrunner had their payment processor. I think it was Stripe. Turn on them because people went and they brigaded against him and said that he was all.
So I
think he got it back, but yeah, it's basically all you gotta say is, hey, people are doing illegal things with the money, and they'll just be like, oh, we don't want that.
But it's okay when some of these other banks and things do questionable things with money. Mm-hmm. Remember those financial crises and things that happened back in early 2000s.
Well, we'll talk about OnlyFans. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, guys. We're over 232,000 subs.
Woohoo!
Talking about OnlyFans because it is part of the creator economy, and not that we have any interest in it, but we do talk about like Patreon and YouTube and people getting paid, and OnlyFans, which wants to be a Patreon alternative, is basically a porn platform, and they're getting rid of the porn, and now the official explanation from the CEO is the banks.
Blame it on the banks.
So this is coming from The Verge, just dropped today. OnlyFans CEO on why it banned adult content. The short answer is banks. We had no choice. Change in policy, we had no choice. The short answer is banks. Stokely told the Financial Times in an interview published today. He named 3 major banks that refused service because of reputational risk associated with the UK-based OnlyFans sexual material.
But they've been dealing with them for years, haven't they?
A couple of years, like 2 years.
Now, just now they're having an issue with it? What about last year when people were using it like crazy because of the shutdowns? They didn't have a problem with it then?
The explanation I've heard, there are 2 possible explanations. Okay. One is venture capitalists won't have anything to do with it because it's porn. And that was also part of the problem with Patreon, as I understand it, is they were trying to, quote unquote, clean up the platform. And they were fishing for more venture capital because Patreon is still not profitable. It's been in business like 8 or 9 years and it's still not profitable.
Contrary to what they'll tell you.
Yeah, it's not profitable. That was one. The other was that people were using OnlyFans for potentially illegal things.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. They thought they were using people that, weren't necessarily agreeing to being on there.
But he name-checked the banks. Bank of New York Mellon, Metro Bank, and JP Morgan Chase. He said BNY Mellon specifically had flagged and rejected every wire transaction involving OnlyFans, threatening its ability to even pay creators. Well, that's when you jump to crypto.
Yeah, but they're not doing that. They're trying to get venture capital. They're blaming the banks.
Start your own crypto, Dickcoin or something.
Dickcoin?
Dickcoin.
That's sexist.
Pussy pennies.
There you go.
I don't know.
You have a choice.
Anyway, Bloomberg reported more generally that banking partners and payment providers had pressured OnlyFans, a platform previously known as a haven for sexual workers, into banning the promotion of sexually explicit material starting on October 1st.
Why do you always do that?
Sexual. From transsexual.
Sexual healing.
The ban will affect anything that shows, promotes, advertises, or even refers to real or simulated sex. So if you slowly eat a banana on camera, What I mean is
What
that
if he was like bananas and you really wanted to eat that
and
banana?
you're really enjoying it, and sometimes as you're enjoying that banana, you just let out a couple of squees or moans because it's such a good banana. That's wrong. You can't do that.
Apparently not.
You can't do
well,
that.
they said, yeah, because maybe that's sex-related body fluids. Well, what? You can have body fluids that aren't sex-related?
I guess you could bleed all over the place.
You could, like, I don't know, spit on things. I mean, I don't know. That's nasty. It'll allow nudity.
Tasteful nudes.
Tasteful nudes.
An email to OnlyFans creators suggested things like zooming too close to body parts could violate rules. So no booby cams. Just tasteful nude in a chair. Draw me like your French girls. But from over there, because COVID.
I'm sorry.
Like
We're talking about this part, and they have this highlighted. So we see this. None of these things. It was recently clamped.
Clamped down. They clamped down on the use of their cards to pay for that kind of content, ostensibly platforms that allowed child abuse material.
See, yeah,
that's what
I'm hearing might be a problem. It's part of the problem. And non-consensual. That's what I've been hearing is the issue as well. It's more that.
So what's going to happen, though, is if it's the banks, then even if OnlyFans gets rid of that kind of content, anybody else that tries to start a competing platform,
it's got the same problem.
They're going to run into the same problem. That's why you need Dickcoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah, but then people would, but then if the problem is about these people, they're worrying about using non-consensual issues and abuse, then they would, people would get away with it more, which I am not for that in any way, shape, or form. I think that should be stopped.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Unfortunately, people who aren't doing anything wrong are getting caught up in it too. Look, we're not people that go to OnlyFans. It's not something that we're into or we would be into. But if people are actually doing it because they want to do it and they're doing it because they choose to do it and they have an audience that wants to see that, that's up to them. I mean, that's between them and their audience. I have nothing in it.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad the audience doesn't have anything in you either.
No.
So anyway.
I love you.
Anyway, this is what I heard the problem actually was investors. They want to go legit. They want to be, a Patreon competitor. I mean, they've got, film and music people using it.
People are using it for things that aren't porn.
Which I just found out.
Unfortunately, the brand is completely linked to porn now, and everybody thinks that's what it's for.
Yep.
It's going to be really hard to separate the reputation from this one. It's already, the genie's out of the bottle. You're not going to put that back in. You can't unscrew it.
So many jokes, so much low-hanging fruit, all bananas that need to be eaten slowly on camera for money, for Dickcoin. So Slate a couple days ago, the Indefensible Cruelty of OnlyFans porn ban. Well, they defended themselves. They said the banks wouldn't have it. And people are very, very upset.
Yeah, because that's what you're doing to make money.
I had the wrong article pulled up. It says go deeper.
Wait, did they do that on purpose?
I don't know. This is coming from Axios. This was today, I think. Yeah. Sexual workers sound off on OnlyFans ban. So people are very upset. Why it matters. OnlyFans has been a safe space for sex workers, allowing them to make a living without in-person interactions. What they're saying, this is something the anti-porn and anti-trafficking organizations have been pushing for. Now, I've heard that too. I've heard there actually is a Christian organization that's going around and trying to deplatform anybody who does anything like that on any platform ever.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, if you are legally doing it and you are an adult and you are not somebody being forced to do it, then hey, that's up to you. But the trafficking thing is a problem. If that is a real issue, I can see where that is a problem.
I think it's going to create more problems like that. This is coming from Alana Evans, who's the veteran adult movie actress and president of the Adult Performers Actors Guild. I have models telling me they think they have no choice but to move into other full-service activities. Mm-hmm. Here's somebody from a top OnlyFans model, amasses thousands of paying subscribers since first joining the site 2 years ago. She calls the decision earth-shattering. There, again, is another joke.
I'm being good.
Mind-blowing, earth-shattering, teeth-rattling.
I'm being good.
Leg-shaking. Ashford had been a student and working various jobs in Arizona and began posting adult content to platforms like Snapchat and Twitter. I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
Oh, no, you can put things on Twitter. I've accidentally gone through my timeline and found things that popped up. Literally.
What kind of filter do you use on Snapchat for that?
I don't know. Yeah. Does it make my penis look bigger filter?
Some of it went viral, and she began treating her hobby like a business. Joining OnlyFans enabled her to pursue a 100% sustainable life in Costa Rica, where she built a home, a greenhouse, and planted over 500 trees and has livestock.
Well, go her.
That's actually putting parts to use, right?
I'm
not the only one who will be affected by a change in my income. There are 6 families, depending on the paycheck I give them every other week. It seems so easy for OnlyFans to turn their back on me and other content creators with such little thought as to the thousands of families who will be affected.
Be fair, though, when you're thinking about this, you're not thinking like, oh, there's thousands of families going to be affected by the fact that she's not allowed to do things on OnlyFans.
Think of the children.
Oh my
No,
God, it literally is.
That is the problem. People are thinking of the children. That's why we had to pull the plug. They'll say, yeah, they believe it was MasterCard's new rules on adult content. She said she met with MasterCard and they told us their only intention was to remove illegal content.
And I have no problem with that. Remove illegal things, then, non-consensual stuff. By all means, stop trafficking. I 100% agree with that. But then how do you know?
Yeah. Well, there are ways, I guess, to gate that. I do think I think they're using the banks as a scapegoat. I think this is about the venture capital, absolutely, because they're going to want to create a company that they can pump and dump. Oh God, that's bad.
Would you? Yes. They said I can't. They said some of these workers, they say made long-term financial commitments, including mortgages, based on the presumption they continue to be able to post via OnlyFans. See, now I'm going to call you out on this. Here's the problem. You can't do that because everything changes all the time. Like, I would tell someone the same thing about YouTube or any other platform.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can save up money and you could, have, other ways, other businesses that you can rely on. Don't just put all your eggs into one basket and be like, be good. And be like, well, if that goes down, I'm screwed. Dang it.
You just can't help yourself.
No. Make sure you have other plans, but don't rely on something like that's iffy like OnlyFans, or even YouTube or something like that. Because you never know what rules could change tomorrow.
All it's going to take is for somebody to be rubbed the wrong way. And you're not going to get paid for that. So, no, in all seriousness, this is the problem with the creator economy. This is a double-edged sword because things do change. I mean, look at all the YouTubers that were doing like kids' toy box opening videos and family content. They're doing vlogs of like their kids, and all this other stuff. And all of a sudden, because of some creeps, that was verboten on YouTube. You weren't allowed to monetize. You could post the content on YouTube, but the comments were turned off and you weren't allowed to monetize it. So we had people had their income snapped away overnight.
Right.
So you have to diversify your income streams because any platform, whether it's this, YouTube or OnlyFans or Twitch or whatever, you're subject to their whims and they change, terms of service all the time. So just, this should be a cautionary tale again, even if you don't create adult content like that. People have had their Patreons snapped away. They've had YouTube channel monetization snapped away. Absolutely happens. So make sure you have a plan B and then a C and a D on top of that.
They said they're also making sure they keep their pages to keep their contacts there while they search for other sites to be put on. They created alternative accounts. It takes a while to build up a new platform. Exactly. You start a new platform and it's like from ground zero. I mean, you might have some of your audience move over, but one thing that we've learned when we did webcomics and other things is your audience tends to stay where you found them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to, you can move to this. Well, that's extra work for me. I'll go watch them instead.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like everybody started moving to Webtoon, and it was hard to get people to go to self-hosted websites, and vice versa. You can't really pull, like people were trying to use like Webtoon's platform to pull people over to their website, and they weren't going to move. They're like, no, your stuff's on Webtoons, your stuff's on Tapas, your stuff's on Tumblr.
So they might run into trouble with that. I don't know, or find another way to get around the rules or to do content that plays within the rules.
Yeah.
But then, like, if that's what your content is and that's what your audience wants, I don't know what to tell you.
Somebody will come up with something else if they haven't already, and they'll be smart enough to use crypto, Just saying.
What did you call it again?
Dickcoin.
Dickcoin. Dickcoin. Which, yeah.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this one up. Please subscribe for. What? There's a joke in there.
You're waiting for me. You were looking at me like you're wrap this up, and you stopped looking at me to see if
I was waiting to see if you had any witty commentary.
No.
We're gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news.
Not whap it. That's see, you had to go there. We're gonna whap it up.
We're gonna whap it.
We're gonna wrap it.
We're gonna whap it up.
No, we're not gonna whap anything.
Talk to you later.
Bye.